Okay, so you went with your grandfather,
Okay,
who
so
was the head of Gur.
I was asked by Galeza if I find any difference between the Hasidic movement that I was born into and the Hasidim in Israel. And I said, come to think of it, that in my time and in my life as a child and a youngster in the Hasidic community, I observed that the Hasidim were moving on diligence, that means on carriages with horses, of course cars too, but that was a good idiom, forward. Why the Hasidim here in Israel, they do it in a car and move backward?
Or stopped.
For example, my grandfather was a Hasid of Ur, one of the leaders of Agudat Israel world movement, and his eldest daughter was married to a Zionist. And moreover, after her eldest daughter died of cancer at the age of 31, the two eldest daughters came over to us to do Kabbalah for a while, for a year. But that was not the solution for them. And since my grandfather was really a lover of Zion, of course, the stereotype of here says that Agudat Israel were against coming to Israel, which is completely unfounded. So he bought two certificates for my two cousins, girls, and they went to Israel, and they did not study at the seminar of Agudat Israel, which is called Beit Yaakov, but went to a socialist village called Nahalal. Now, and they were sending us some foods, and we were in complete communication and harmony. My brothers of my grandfather, all the way, he had six brothers, he was the Hasid and the leader of a Hasidic bead movement, to the youngest one who almost moved along Jew. And there was a harmony with them. It was a brotherhood. They had a feeling of a home, and you had the feeling they were not zealots. My grandfather was a liberal man, and according to the information that I got and put it in there, the city, the Jewish community got into trouble, and we had to pay some fine, which was to spend 24 hours, an extension of it. And the rabbi of Zvi Gill turned to my grandfather, who had his connections in Warsaw, and on Shabbat, on Shabbos, he went with the train to Warsaw and arranged the thing. To show you that the Hasidic movement that we talked of pre-Shoah
was more progressive.
As this Hasidic movement, I came now from London, and at Northwest, you have the Stamford Hill. At the Stamford Hill, you have Hasidim, 25,000 Hasidim, but they work and they buy, and there are shomrim, guards and things like this, unlike here, because in England, religion is actually the domain of the individual. Here, you pay for everything. So, to come back to you, pre-time and so forth. And as I said, one of the what was accepted here by this was, it was actually propaganda that the issue felt very bad about what happened because people didn't come over. Now imagine, for example, that, okay, 3.5 million people are registering in 1938 or 9 to come over to Palestine. First of all, who would let them? Second of all, how could the issue absorb them? But the fact was that they did come. One of the stories that I have is that a Jew, a Hasid, is coming to Rabbi Gur, and he said he wants to go to Eretz Israel. And the rabbi said, it's very good, he will go to Eretz Israel. He himself came over in 1939 and then went back. because he was an English subject. And when the war broke over, he was actually, you know, somehow arranged. He was, you know, taken immediately out and to somewhere in Europe, and then of course back to the United States. Anyhow, so he said, how are you going to make a living? So he said, I'm going to be a winer. I'm going to make wines. So he said, how are you going to make wines? He said. So he says, from Rozinki's raisins. So the rabbi tells him, Eretz Israel has vineyards and wine. What you should be doing, you should be a burden to the community. And as it is, we have plenty of people there who are actually lost, and we have to support them. So don't give us more trouble. That was the reason. With anyone who was rich and could. So there are at Paper Bridge you have stories of how was this Kabbalah? For me, you're young, but there was in the 60s there was a musical, a Broadway musical called Brigadoon.
Yeah, I'm not that young.
Yeah,
But thank you.
But you were a child.
I wasn't a child.
What a story of Scotland, you know, two lovers. One day they're kind of falling in love, and the whole little village, the whole estate comes up. And after it disappears. So that's what I wanted to do with this Kabbalah. I wanted it to bury with honor. That's what I did with Paper Bridge.
So part of this project is to get as many of the 12,000 names as I can.
Yes. The question is, how do we get it translated?
Which
You know,
your Paper Bridge,
Huh?
you mean your book Paper Bridge?
Yes.
I'll get it translated for you. So I will work on it.
There was one thing that I can assure you. That is, all the rights in other the Hebrew rights is beside the Bitachon. All the rights in other language are mine.
Okay, so I've got a couple of ideas. When I go back, I will put into
I have two
action.
books. I can give you one for that.
No,
purpose.
don't give me anything until I find out whether
Okay.
I can get it
Yeah,
translated.
okay, good, fine. Okay, you're right.
Because
You're
it's
right.
not fair.
Yeah.
Because I've got the only
Yes.
ideas at this moment.
Yes. But anyhow, what
How many pages is the book?
Pardon me?
How many pages is the book?
I'm going to show you how it looks.